going to see if this thing stays on here. Guys, I'm watching the recorder just as soon as I see it run for a few more seconds here. Hopefully, oh, okay, the meter is running. Welcome back, everybody, to the Hard Truth Show. I know it has been a week and a half since the last time I think we spoke. I've been out in California, is how I would say it, out in California doing solar work out there, because I also do have to make a paycheck and survive. So I got that customer off grid. If you didn't see us, the recent video before this video should be on the stream right now of videos on my channel. And man, that was an adventure. Glad to get it done. Glad to get home. Hey, shalom, everybody coming in the building this evening. Man, I've just got so much to cover in this week ahead and the weeks ahead. Content that I've been swirling around in my mind, things that have been going on in the world lately. I'm going to start with one of the most important, I think, to me personally. Shalom, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Welcome in the house. Where's a good place to buy silver? Oh, Jesse, I'm so sorry I forgot to call you back the other day. My phone, I had, I don't know how many voicemails. I heard that the other day, and I'm so sorry I forgot to hit you back. There's a silver place right up here off of exit 4, what is this, 407? Yeah, Sevierville exit. As soon as you're starting up the hill to the left, that guy, they got a ton of good stuff. I go in there and trade with them up there. And just text me a reminder, and I'll try to send you the link to the name of the place. Because I've got so many good things to share with you. And it's the first thing I want to start out with today is I went and seen Miss Evans and the rest of the great folks up at the Gatlinburg Convention Center, paid the rest of the funds needed for like projection equipment, stage equipment, all the stuff for the like tables, chairs, seating, all that stuff, all the rental equipment, all that got paid off today. So it's pretty much this point, just show up. The convention center ballroom got paid for a while back. Now that's been expanded even to double the space. Like I said, rental equipment got paid today, audio equipment, all that stuff. And the insurance as well, weeks back of this. And yeah, all that's left is for me to take care of some people's travel funds. I don't care if that comes out of my own pocket. At this point, I just feel peace because everything's paid for. All you got to do is show up. And guys, if you haven't got over to Eventbrite, I've been keeping a tab on the Eventbrite seating. Tickets are getting gone, okay? So even though we expanded the space because of Rona and the extra spacing of the seats, you know, there's still 250 seats, so you might want to get you a ticket as soon as possible. Make sure to visit soundingtheloudcry.com. The tab at the top's for the 2020 conference. Go right down there and get you your free tickets for the event, okay? Now, what we're going to be discussing tonight, as you can see from the title, is, you know, time is almost up pretty much to exit the beast system because we've got the digital currency situation coming up. We've got, you know, the coin shortage. Hey, Brother Elias, great to have. There's a lot of familiar faces in the building tonight. You know, we've got the coin shortage going on, you know, and then on top of that, you know, the ID 2020 program thing, which if people are not aware of that, guys, literally went through the TSA, just my recent trip to California. You know, time is ticking on that. If you don't have the updated passport, the updated driver's license, blah, 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 you can't fly, you know, October next year. Excuse me, for some reason I've got a lot of sinus. Still getting adjusted being home. Just can't get no rest here lately, hardly, with the time change up. Give me just a second, guys. Looking right here. Real quick, somebody said send an email. Needing a dress to the event. We have our rental book, but I need the actual dress. Baptism conference. Melissa, I will make sure and get that over to you. I apologize. I went through a mountain of emails from folks, and I will certainly make certain to get through the rest of them. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be caught up and I'll have you the information over, guys. And I apologize. I'm just one person, but man, the email box this past week or two, dude, it was like triple digits. I can't even imagine when it gets to and too many more zeros added. Yeah, Jesse, he's got silver up there at that place. Just text me. I'll get you the address for it. But so I don't really have a particular order I'm going to go in on this tonight, guys. So This may be a little broken, but by the end of the video, I hope it'll make sense, and then we can chop it up for 20, 30 minutes after I'm done. But just so you know, some videos coming up that I'm going to be covering some stuff is I'm going day after tomorrow to visit my friend Tony Jones up in Virginia, and we're going to talk about off-grid stuff on a live video, just some really cool stuff where you can actually see it hands-on at a vendor where I get my stuff. You can actually see some really cool off-grid stuff and learn some things about actually doing your own off-grid stuff. So I think that'll be a really cool live, and it'll be great to hang out with a good friend that's like a brother to me. With that said, I'm also going to be doing a video, guys. If you haven't seen the thing about Wayfair, my gosh, the child pedo, I'll just leave it at that. And these sick, twisted people, I mean, like, dude, the Wayfair, Amazon, all this stuff, dude, I'm going to be seriously covering a video about that. I really want to go in on that because it was crazy, the stuff that my friends have shared with me on Facebook lately. I got to looking into it. I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, it's horrible, just horrible. But I'm definitely going to be covering that as well. And another thing I want to cover is that this whole agenda, somebody said it right there, Wayfair, Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Yemi, yeah, absolutely, yep. And another thing I'm going to cover is, like, I don't know if y'all saw it back at, I think it was on the 4th. It was right before I left out of town. There was the whole march at Stone Mountain, Virginia, and there's just so much stuff going on that the media is trying to race bait a race war. There's just a lot of different variable things that are going on right now that I would just like to drop my perspective on. But this right here, especially for people of faith, I think this is the most timely topic to start back on right now. Excuse me, guys. Shift around on my seat here tonight. So the thing is I want to go into the first bullet point here. But right before I do, you know, my wife asked me a question earlier today. She said, "Luke, if I showed you a picture months and months ago of just today, what would you think of this situation looking at all these people?" And I said, well, okay. I said, that's a good question. I said, I would look at this situation and say, this is a pandemic, or there's a bioweapon or something's been released because of people obviously wearing coverings and etc. But now I said, now looking at it though right now and not some months back where the things have kind of eased off a little bit around the world, I'm like, there's not everybody in a mask, so I would think it's some kind of illness or sickness that may possibly could, you know, inflict damage to your health. And she said, well, what would you do? I said, well, I'll tell you what I would have done. I'd have bought up a bunch of masks to sell months later down the road. And I know that sounds terrible, and I'm like, sounded like that guy that bought up all the hand sanitizer to sell. But, oh man, they're trying to lock Kentucky down again. Guys, they just don't want to let go of this stuff. I don't know how long it's going to drag. But I'm telling you, I think it's going to drag right into election and maybe pass. I mean, they want this country to fall apart. You know, I had a talk. I don't want to get off subject. I want to get started before the 10-minute mark. But just one last thing is, I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, staunch liberal, okay? Still love him. But me, I'm a libertarian. Okay? And I don't really associate Republican. I don't associate Democrat. And that's not so I can just skirt issues of politics. I'll talk politics with you all day long. But as me and him was talking, is that there's certain scenarios that are about to play out that if people are not careful, people are going to leave the Republican Party. They're going to leave the Democratic Party. We're going to have a mass flushing of our two-party system come sometime next year because people have absolutely had enough. I mean, we have just had enough, and I swear, folks, it's it's going to be something on the street. Tony, you're a mess. I love you. I see the comment. But you know, the thing that I want to just get right in. Can we watch a live feed in the convention since we? Oh yes, guys. The you know, and we need to update some more info on the tab for the conference. It will be live streamed. We were making sure about the videography today. To make sure that it's live streamed for the public. Yeah, and we're going to try to do that on Loud Cry Ministries and also on my YouTube channel. And I encourage everybody, you know, like Boom Church, everybody, anybody that wants to live stream, you know, for their ministries as well, by all means. It's in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, on the 15th and 16th. and the baptism service on the 14th, the day before. But now here's the deal, guys. All the info's at soundintheloudcry.com, all right? Now, let's get started on this because we're right at the 10-minute mark. Digital currency, what do we know? This is the deal. In the stimulus bill, if we all rewind just for a minute, Nancy Pelosi was pretty adamant about getting that digital currency in there. Now, if there is another stimulus package, and I think my dad was the one that pointed this out to me the other day, and I have to agree with him, is that, you know, if you're wanting a re-election, and I don't want to get in politics today, I want us to stay on money and this beast system, but this is really important to understand, is because we need to be mindful of this stuff, is that right before election, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't get another stimulus. But the thing is, this time through, I really think that it will be an institution of digital currency in some form, because let me just get this to you. I done some research earlier today to make sure that I wasn't off base on this, because I'm an electrician, I'm not a tax professional, I'm not a CPA, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that, okay? But I looked into this, and apparently these countries are already deep diving into this stuff with digital currency. Canada, Australia, Israel, Russia, and get this one. This is the one that stuck out to me. Sweden. You might be like, so what? What's that all about? Is that in Sweden, you know, a lot of people use a Swiss bank account, right? A lot of people want to, you know, transfer their currency. Well, you know, you've already got Bitcoin, and I'm curious to see what Sweden comes out with, because I'll be honest with you, I'm probably pretty interested in, when that time comes, dabbling in that a little, because the thing is the Swiss have always Sweden, many people are chipped. Oh man, that's crazy. You know, and guys, I'm starting to see that more and more with Europe. You know, the whole chipping thing. We're gonna get into that. Just bear with me, guys. I don't want to forget that about the whole TikTok thing and all that. But you know, I've noticed with this digital currency thing, what it's also going to create, and I don't think people's mindful of this, but I would say it's perpetual poorness. And what I mean by that is, if you look at, like I just recently reviewed this the other day, is the 1984 movie. If you haven't read the book, like I got my book right up there on the shelf. But if you watch the movie, that movie, and In Time, IN space TIME. It's got Justin Timberlake in it, and I can't think of the redheaded chick girl in it, but that right there is an example of perpetual poorness. Okay, and guys, I promise I'm going to take a pause here in a minute and go back and catch up the comments, because I know it's getting blown up already. If you look at the situation right now, I was thinking about this. I was like, now, aside from digital currency, like, you go to the courthouse, you got to pay tags, titles, taxes, land tax. It just goes and goes and goes. Not to mention then, of course, you know, there's products of the system, what I would call them. I'm a product of the system. See, I got married years ago and didn't know about the system. So, you know, here I am now, 16 years down the road, or 3 years engaged and then 13 years married. Later down the road, divorced, and 20% of my business gone each month, and X amount of money gone each month, and child support, blah, blah. And I don't say that for anybody to feel sorry for me. I made a choice to get married. I went through a divorce. I was ignorant of the laws, and here's a product of the system. But there's many, many people that they're in a state of perpetual poorness because of this system. This is a beastly system, okay? But it is about to become the beast system. I'm just trying to set a premise here for you to understand. Because a lot of people, like I was in San Francisco the other day, there's people just piling out into the streets because they're losing everything, right? There's already homeless on the street, now here's even more. Because they can't live and function in the system that we're in already, all right? Now, when you take and add this into the awareness, the next thing that I used to collect currency, right? And so something that comes to my mind is the Federal Reserve notes, where that you have like the silver certificates and the gold certificates and all that. And then they got took up. Everything is systematic, okay? And then we went to the Federal Reserve note, you know, and the whole Rockefellers and J.P. Morgans and that beast put together on Jackal Island called the Federal Reserve. Well, now we're living in that, right? And the next transitory thing is to go to this digital currency. because the next transitory thing after that is an RFID chip in your hand. Now, right before I take a pause and go in the comments, I seen this video that my wife shared with me, very disturbing, and I think I shared this with you in a live before I took out of town, or I might have just thought about it. I swear I have so much go through my mind I can't keep it all cataloged anymore. But this lady apparently they're selling these do-it-yourself RFID chip kits now. And they come in a little black box, you know, thin, little black box like you got a small tablet or something. And it comes with like a doorbell thing, or not a doorbell thing, like a door lock thing that you have to scan your hand on your door or near your door, and then it opens your house up, and etc. But we can just get out all the bells and whistles of that to just point out that, like, this is how mainstream RFID chips are now. Like, dude, y'all, I started this channel almost a decade ago now, talking about stuff like this, and people probably looked at me sideways. I can't even remember some of the comments back then. And now, a decade later, I could almost qualify for prophet, you know? Not that I claim to be a prophet. I'm just saying, like, literally, that's how much has changed transitory in less than a decade, okay? I mean, technology's going like this, you know? And I'm gonna have to take a pause because so many people in the comments tonight, I want to respond to you, but I just want you to understand this digital currency thing's not going to go away. Like I talked about when I went to visit Straightway, do some solar at one day. It's the new scanner things on the gas pump. There's literally signs at certain businesses now showing people putting their hand up. Now, of course, the smartwatch is there, but they're showing you putting your hand with all these devices and stuff up to these pads, and it's a slow conditioning of the mind. And we'll get in the change shortage thing in a minute. I want to roll up here real quick and catch up some of these comments. Somebody said Israelites are talking about not voting en masse. I tell you what, it'll be crazy to see just how this election turns out. Somebody said new to the channel and ways seeking Yah bless. The Most High be with you. Somebody said Sweden, aren't they a part of the WEU 10 toes? Guys, we can talk about Beasts of Revelation and all that one day. That would be a really good conversation to cover that. I would like to go over that. It's been a long time since I've had that conversation on this channel. I can't wait for people to see the conference when I go into some of this stuff that you can drop in the comments right there like that, and just bear with me. That's right around the corner in less than 30 days. Somebody said, have you seen the demonic opening of the tunnel in Switzerland? No. Are we talking some CERN stuff there? I haven't seen that. Somebody said, love the channel, brothers. Seen the video of who the true people were years ago, and I've been following you since. Blessings to you. Somebody said, hit the thumbs to like this video. I appreciate that, Sylvia. Somebody said they're already phasing out physical money. Now, I got a great story for you. It's on the coin shortage here in a minute. Just hang tight when places are rejecting cash. Yeah, it's a two-part thing. Farmers have food. Yep, you're right, Jesse. That's where it's going to be real currency here soon. Somebody said, sorry, I just got off work. Like, who in the world wakes up and says, I'm going to order an RFID chip do-it-yourself kit? Who does that? I know. I get it, Melissa. I get it. I mean, I about fell up all out of my stool whenever I seen that on the TikTok. Yes, local business here in Middle Tennessee are already rounding up if you use cash only. If it is happening here, it is everywhere. Yep, Snapchat has had mass filters for years. It was predictive programming. Man. In the early 70s, you know, that Snapchat thing is crazy, guys. You know, that, I'm telling you, some of this stuff, I'm just not on social media anymore. It's this ministry on YouTube and my Facebook account. That's about all I use anymore. Somebody said in the early 70s, my pastor was talking about the one world government, religion and cashless society. They fired him for being too controversial. Man, will be a saint now. Somebody said, how long do you think it will be before they implement the no buying and no selling tied to the vax? That's a great question, Greg. Remind me here in about 10, 15 minutes, we'll be getting into that. Yes, it's called CERN. There are baby ones all over the world, including in Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge has got one? Wow, I thought they were only dealing in nuclear stuff. All right, guys, so I'm caught up right there. Greg, just bear with me. I want to get to that with the vaccine. I've got it on my list here. So here's the deal. I seen a slow creep where that they were like, okay, due to Rona. Now I want you to understand, it was a quick shift. If y'all didn't catch it, it was a quick shift. Because it started out, due to Corona, we are not accepting cash right now, blah, blah. And I kid you not, just as soon as there was backlash from that, it seemed like overnight it changed to where you're experiencing a coin shortage right now. Dude, I got a jar over here, a milk jug that I've kept coins in for a long time. I mean, like, if we need to just set a national coin recirculation day, I'll go contribute my coins if that's going to fix the problem. You know, I just save it from every little adventure, but that's cool. I'll be glad putting mine back in circulation. If we're in that bad a spot, I'm going to do my civic duty to go put that coinage back into circulation if that's what'll fix our country, okay? And get this mess fixed, because I'm telling you, they can print and they can stamp out coins all day long at the U.S. Mint. That's not the agenda at play here. First it was Rona. Well, that's not working too well. Now we have a coin shortage. Great save, guys. Great save. And so if you take the coinage out of circulation, you have the situation where you got to round up or, you know, make up the difference. Well, Kroger, now, and I want to make sure and 100% verify this, because I've already seen a physical copy of the receipt, but I just wanted one in hand. But apparently, if you go to Kroger and shop, where I'm at, right, then from what I understand and seeing on the post the other day, somebody shared, if you're short change, they ain't giving you none back, okay? But on top of that, I think if you pay with cash, and please forgive me if I'm wrong, this is me speaking hearsay right now, okay? I don't even care that I've seen the actual receipt. I'm just counting this as hearsay, but you go do your own research on this. That apparently then they are charging a coin shortage fee. Coin shortage fee. So, I mean, at that point, you're getting tapped for not having enough to round up. Then you're getting charged a fee on top of that. Now, you think about that. You think about that stupidity right there. That's a whole side topic. That's just a whole side topic. That's a little caveat just for more frustration. But the thing is if you can get the currency out of circulation, you know, people don't pay attention that on a note, on a bill, it says that's for debts public and private. So you can't no longer go to Bob and buy a gun from him privately, okay? Because you're going to have to go down here and transfer funds out of an account, and then they're going to know, well, funds come out of account to go to so-and-so. Well, why'd they go to so-and-so? Blah, blah, blah. The bank don't want to let you pay for something. Dude, I was out in the middle of California. Flagged my card, wouldn't let me pay something. So I paid with another card. You know, it's like, you're going to get to the point where it's like, well, if I'd have had cash, I could have just done this and wouldn't have to deal with this drama. Well, you cannot... you know, like Hitler, I wish I could pull this quote up right now, but Hitler, I think it's from his book Mein Kampf, that says pretty much that you erode people's freedoms a little here, you know, and I'm just summarizing. I don't want to misquote it because it was brilliant how it was wrote, but it was like a little here, a little there, to the point where that when it is finally gone, when people pretty much like finally get woke, it's too late then to turn the tide. And like I said, I think that was from Hitler's publication, Mein Kampf. But anyway, long and short of that, that is exactly, yeah, the boiling frog effect, exactly, same situation. And that's where we're at with it, because somebody said it's here in Indianapolis, Kroger. Okay, well, did they charge you the fee for them being short and also didn't give you change back? Like, did they double tap you? That's all I'm trying to confirm, because like, apparently it's the real thing. And I mean, guys, that right there, that's just taking, that is as bad as the guy that bought up all the hand sanitizer and made like $70,000 in a week. I'm all for capitalism, okay? I'm just saying, like, that's straight up stealing. Yeah, right, somebody just said it's stealing. Melissa, yeah. But if you look at it, the RFID chip thing's getting put into the system. Now, we're going to get into the vaccine thing in a minute, okay? I want to share a real good caveat with you. It's about Microsoft here in a minute that I just found out, too, in my recent research. But if you're removing the coinage, you're removing the currency, and then you go to a digital currency, then at that point, it's a transitory thing where, guess what? You've only got two options to move that money. You know, you got the pay, where you can tap to pay, you know, with your card, RFID chip, all that stuff. Or you can slide your hand. I mean, it's that simple, folks. It's that simple. It's not rocket science. You know, many, many years ago, people used to put things on a tab. Then the tab was removed, and then it was write checks, and then no more checks. And then it was bank cards. Then it was RFID chip bank cards. Now it's going to be where there's no more cash. And, you know, I don't want people knowing where I'm going and what I'm doing. I went to the Travelex money exchange thing the other day on the way home and traded U.S. currency for euros so that I would have some, you know, euros. Like, I'm to the point where, like, dude, you know, we need to have as much stuff tangible as possible because, guys, they're trying to remove it. Now, the next thing I want to say about this, you know, is going down is now if you look at Greece, I'll say this and then I'm going to read some more comments to catch this up. If you look at Greece, Greece is a broken country. Okay, for those that didn't pay attention, you know, especially back early years of the euro, the fallout in Greece, right? Well, you know, pretty much you can leave here from what they say nowadays, sell out your stuff, move over there, live like a king, pretty much off your money because their economy's that broke. Well, the thing is when you create the grease effect all through the world in some form or fashion later, because now you don't want to pull a Venezuela. You know, Venezuela and Greece, two different places. So you don't want to pull a Venezuela, but a Greece would be an ideal thing for especially these people at the top that are satanic, Luciferian, child eating, pedophilia, wicked, Satan worshiping pieces of crap. If you're one of those people wanting that to create that kind of dystopian environment while still maintaining some kind of lavishness for themselves, you're wanting a Greece effect. You're not wanting a Venezuela. Okay. Plus, let's face it, socialism never works. Okay. But anyway, the ID 2020 thing. I'm going to go into it next. How that this all wraps together because this will be the key to the beast kingdom when it comes to financial, and it will be the full initiative startup right here. But hold that thought. I'm going to go to the comments real quick, guys, and catch up Worry and some men here. Give me just a second. Let's see what we got here. Let me see where I left off. Let's see. Hurricane wind power. We must chip our children and retrieve them. One of the elite kidnapped them. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you what, man. You guys just wait till I get on that Wayfair thing, man. It is crazy. I just want to drop this one on you real quick about the Wayfair thing. So somebody went on there to order one of those $10,000 cabinets because you got the normal one that's like industrial 2000, same industrial cabinet, missing child name, etc. $20,000. Somebody went in there to buy it. They refunded them. They wouldn't let them buy it. See, I guarantee you they've got a list that's only letting certain individuals that's on that list buy this stuff, okay? Because they went to the Russian index thing, and that's where you actually see the pictures of the children and stuff. It's sick, guys. It's like that movie with Liam Neeson in it, Taken. You know, I mean, like, this stuff goes on, man. Somebody said, yes, sir, Aunt retired from Y12. Wow, that's crazy. She was in the lab. Tell you what, it wouldn't surprise me, though. I paid with cash at this local store, and they asked me to donate the change to charity instead of receiving the change back. You know, who was it that does that? Panda Express asked me that recently, I think it was. They're hoarding the coins similar to how toilet paper was hoarded in the spring. Well, now I could see that being a possibility too, guys. Somebody said on top of it, they now can see exactly what you're buying. All the databases are connected. Yes, the other day, I'm going to go ahead and drop this one right here too with ID 2020. The other day I was at the TSA checkpoint. They ran my new driver's license. And the guy spent a minute with it before it was cleared. And it's like, my wife told me that she could see over and look and see that all my information was being pulled up and everything. And guys, that's exactly what's going on is they are trying to compile everything they possibly can about everybody and have this all in one database. That's right. Fusion centers, that's what they call them too, is where they keep all this information together. Somebody said, demonic Gotthard tunnel opening ceremony, satanic New World Order, Illuminati ritual, many elites, dignitaries attended 2 parts. Oh, man. Somebody said they put the change on my Kroger card, that was it. Huh. Now that's a new one. I hadn't heard that one yet. How much you want to bet that soon all the bank cards and credit cards will be compromised and they'll recall them and then offer the chip. Now that Isaiah 40:22, That wouldn't surprise me right there. That would be, guys. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Something's at work here. I just want everybody to understand. I mean, this is definitely something at work. Rona was the catalyst to get their agenda rolling in motion. Do you think they're hoarding precious metals? Nah, I don't know. Somebody said because cash is untraceable. Yeah. Somebody said, I don't think you care about the nickels and dime and taxes they lose because the cash bits the control over all the money. They have their minds being on control. And absolutely. Somebody said, shalom, Brother Luke, shalom to you. Etsy, I use that. What's wrong with that? Well, apparently on Etsy, it was child trafficking found on Etsy too, guys. It was Amazon, Wayfair, Etsy. It was a pretty big list. Like I said, I've got a whole presentation to put together about it. Somebody said this is also a reason why you have all these debit cards that aren't required. Deposits like NetSpend, Chime, Cash App debit cards. Somebody said, "Hey Luke, do you observe Sabbaths dawn to dawn or evening to evening?" I observe the Sabbath from sunrise to sunset, the daylight hours. Somebody said, "Chip is coming." Etsy is also involved. Walmart too. That vaccine thing makes me feel like bearing arms. That's one battle I'm willing to fight after submitting for years and picking my battles on all those government BS. And Chris, that's a very good point. Something that I want to point out later that I haven't covered yet. Just a note on that because I want to be very careful how I say what I've got to say on that. But I'm on the same page with you. But we'll get to that toward the end here. Somebody said, Luke, how soon do you think this will go into effect? Like months, years? Guys, I think whatever's going to catalyst, and I'm about to say in the next point here, I think that it's going to go down in 2021, October forward. Okay, I'll make my case for that shortly. And like I said, just bear with me. Cash will be good by taking it to the bank to get it into digital in order to buy it. That's it right there. That's it. The fake Holy Pope is behind it all. I seen him in a robe recently. He had the boy lover child pedo symbol all around the collar of it. It was just so obvious. Somebody said, I still don't know that receiving a chip is the mark of the beast. Says there's no worship in receiving a chip. Yeah, but the thing about it is that chip is leading to a control measure. And, you know, it plainly says those that take the mark in the forehead or in the hand, you know, the hand is a symbol of work. The head is a symbol of mental agreement and worship, guys. We've got to be very careful that it's a two-part process, whereas those that are sealed in the forehead. We got to be mindful and vigilant about this stuff. So here's the deal. Let me mark off my notes to where we're at. So the ID 2020. Now, if you look at the ID 2020 program, something that was weird to me, it was about the same time after the ID 2020 that I actually found out about the New World Order website. Now, I don't know if y'all have looked into that in the recent live streams that I've done here in the past months and brought that forward. But now when you go over that website, it is gone. Guys, it has been flushed. Okay? That is no joke. That was brought to my attention. I went back to that research, looked at it again, and I was like, well, dang, that's that. And sure enough, it was gone. The ID 2020, the World Health Organization. Now, this was the United Nations New World Order website I'm talking about. Now, the ID 2020 program was originally supposed to be fully implemented October, I think it was it the 8th of October? I can't remember. It was like, anyway, October of 2020 was supposed to be when it all went down. And I was at the DMV getting my son his, the learner's permit to drive. And I got the information and everything. And, you know, we were standing there and I was going over the sheet and everything and looked at the documentation. And, I mean, they just practically, dude, you might as well just give them a blood sample while you're at it. I mean, it was insane, the crap they want. Well, then all of a sudden, it got shifted back a whole calendar year, right about the time of Rona starting. And I said to myself, that's strange. Why would you do that? You know, and I'm a person anymore that I ain't going to lie. I reacted with emotion. And a man should never just react with emotion. I'm to the point anymore, I win $1 million tomorrow or my house burns down. I'm going to take a day or two and think it over. You know, I'm just like, you know, I was on a job site the other day, thousands of miles away from home. The part was late getting there. I didn't get bent up in shape about it. I was just like, it is what it is. I'm not going to react, you know. And a day or two later, it showed up, finished the job up, collected the paycheck. And it's like, I just don't feel like everything deserves a reaction anymore. But now this, however, I thought about it. I was like, this doesn't make sense. Why would you set a standard, for people to have to comply to, then all of a sudden pump the brakes? I've never seen the government do this, hardly ever. Is why would you just pump the brakes all of a sudden after telling people it is mandatory? Like, I mean, the signage and all this crap, and you go through TSA, and it's like, you don't have this on, you can't fly, blah, blah, blah. And then it just disappears into the thin air. No signage, no drama, no mouthing off, no haggling you about your license or passport or anything anymore. Just get through the line. I'm like, And then Rona happened. And it got me thinking that I was like, okay, if you let this ride for a bit, just imagine what's happened in the past 6 months in our country. Imagine the mandatory things that could be put in place post-election before this is finally done next year. Because now, right now, you have the window where you can go get your passport, driver's license, all that. But a year from now, I'm sorry, sir, you're on the list we've also added, but not limited to, you'll need to have an RFID chip, you'll need to have a vaccination certificate, blah, 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 blah. It's the government. They can just add regulation when they want to, right? And you, as a good citizen, just like the good citizens of 1984 novel, will just do what they're told, or the thought police will come after you. And I mean, like, this is where I'm at with it, is I'm like, okay, there's a bigger agenda at play. So my encouragement to everybody that's a subscriber is that, it is a legal government binding document when you go get a passport. That's good for 10 years. 10 years, guys. A decade. Let me tell you something. If Messiah ain't back before 10 years up, I think I'm personally going to have a heart attack. Not because of the signs of the times, but because dealing with humanity. Like, let a third of the stars fall out of heaven, burn up a third of the world tomorrow, or let a third of the ships be destroyed in the ocean, demons walking on earth, you name it. I can't deal with people. I'm done with humanity. I'm done with humanity. 80% of people are just bad people. I don't care. They come white, black, Oriental, Hispanic, just any color of Baskin Robbins, any language. Just people are toxic anymore, 80% of them. And the other 20%, y'all love you, because I would prefer to spend time with the other 20% that's halfway still decent. But this world's falling off rails anymore, and it's like, I swear to dealing with people, man, I about freaking have a heart attack anymore. And, I'd rather deal with y'all than with people. Because he can kill me at any point in time. I can't outrun the Most High y'all, but people, they just like a plague. But anyway, the whole deal with this whole agenda being pushed back a whole year, I think that, to me, I look at it in a spiritual sense and like, okay, in AD 70, there was a pause when Titus come to tear down the walls of Jerusalem, that people could come out of the gates and flee. That was their window of opportunity. And I feel like this is a situation for a lot of us right now, that it's like, if you don't have a passport, if you don't have all this stuff, you need to get this in place now. Because that way, when it really does come down, where it's like, you got to take RFID chip, you got to do this, you got to do that, then that's the day to go down, cash in all your chips, and you catch a flight to Fiji or Greece or somewhere out here. You just disappear. You know what I'm saying? You grab that get out of town bag and you just disappear. Because, guys, I'll be honest with you, the thing that irks me day and night anymore is that I have no doubt in my mind at all. My conscience is clear on this, that America, whatever goes down in this world, whatever shakes out in this world, RFID chips, forced worship, all this drama, America will be at the forefront of it going on. You take that to the bank. All right? Now, granted, we're stuck in this thing, but there is a lot that's going to happen right here first and foremost. Now, I forget the gentleman a minute ago that brought this up, but talking about vaccines, the chips and digital currency. Well, now when I went and looked at the ID 2020 thing, there's 3 companies that are deeply involved in it, and Microsoft was one at the forefront. Now, you keep in mind that Bill Gates is the big vaccine pusher. Matter of fact, somebody brought this up, and I thought it was a very good point. I've never seen him in a face mask yet. Yet he's all about everybody wearing a face mask, vaccines, and all that crap. Oh, Greg. Thank you, Antonio. Somebody said, Antonio said it was Greg that brought this up. So Greg made a great point earlier, is that you got to pick your battles. Now, I'm on the same page. You know, it's like right now, I have no criminal history. I've not done anything to anybody other than try to upbuild people's lives. Heck, folks, I worked in California, okay? I put my money with the donations that y'all sent in and went to the conference center today and turned in my work labor so that people could come for free to a ministry conference and be edified in the way. Okay, so there's my love for humanity, okay? So you can see the man that I try to be. Now, I'm still don't count myself worthy of the kingdom. I got issues I need to work out in my own life, right? But I'm just saying, like, this is a journey. But now, on the flip side of that, okay, when we go into this world of Mad Max 2.0 and the Hunger Games scenario and all this stuff, when people come to my house to give me a vaccine or make me take an RFID chip, I'm going to kill people. No questions asked, no remorse, no feels about it. It got nothing for you because I've already made peace with that one. Pray the Most High ought to forgive me, to shelter me, you know, just like Daniel and Job and Noah and all them in their day, because if them people are put in my path and it's got to be me or them, I'm going to stack bodies. And I don't make no bones about it. I have, like I said, I don't have no sorrow about it. And please keep in mind that I have no intention of violence toward anyone. Like I said, folks, I don't even freaking have a speeding ticket home. I mean, like, you got one of the most, like, civic people sitting here. But when it comes down to taking the mark of the beast, have you lost your mind? Like, I'll gladly kill people. I mean, matter of fact, I told a brother in faith the other day, I said, listen, brother, I could be working at your house helping you, and that situation go down. You go ahead and shoot them. And when I'm done working on what I got to do and you get the hole dug, I'll help you put them in the hole and cover it with dirt. Now, that's where I'm at with it. Guys, I just don't even care anymore. Like, this is what Greg pointed out, is I feel like many of us are at that point where that it's like I have the conversation so often with good people, and just like a gentleman, it's old enough to be my great grandfather or great grandfather. And I asked him the other day, I said, I asked that elder, I said, sir, tell me, am I just being crazy, or is this generation the craziest that it's ever been? He said, no, it's I have never seen anything like it. And I was born in the early part of World War II, and, you know, seen from then on all through what's been going on in this age to now. And he agreed that this is the craziest. So I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. I have a sound mind elder, good man here, and so many others that's pointing this out. But this man, you know, I mean, he's way up advanced in years. And I'm like, okay, that gave me peace of mind. And I'm like, I definitely am seeing this with clarity. But, you know, guys, like I said, I don't want no violence in this life. I don't wish violence on anyone. But I encourage every man, woman, and child, you can put a weapon in your hand when that day comes, and they come for you to take a vaccine. They come for you to make you take an RFID chip. You take as many of them with you as you possibly can, because I guess I'll see you in glory, because that's where my mind's made up. And I don't care. I'll tell it to the judge in the courthouse. I'll tell it to the President of the United States. I'll tell it to anybody I need to. That's where I'm at with it. So as long as you don't want problems, don't come my way looking for that. Otherwise, I'm good. You know, because we already have to buy health insurance, which is a violation of the Constitution, because you're not supposed to be forced to be made to buy a product. And I can just go into all the other things that are violations of the Constitution. But when it comes to this, you're not only violating my Fourth Amendment right, you are violating my hope and salvation for eternity. And you are not worth that much. Okay? So when you come to take my eternal salvation away from me by means of making me take the mark of the beast, I'm going to kill your hind end. That's all I got to say on that one, guys. So, Greg, I don't know if that kind of felt like that's where you were at, and that's where I'm at too. But, guys, real quickly, for some final notes, I just want to back up a second and read the comments, because, man, it's getting blown up in here tonight. And I've been away for a week and a half. It feels like an eternity since last time I've talked with everybody in here. Somebody said, yes, 3.5 years after that eclipse the eclipse come back in August of 2024, and I think so 2021 should be real interesting. Yeah, and guys, the 2030 agenda thing, that's a whole nother topic for another live stream or another show. I mean, man, there's just so much that's right out there in our face now. And there is a saying that they have in the occult community that they do this to their victims, is that it's like they divine it to you and let you know what they're doing ahead of time. But they have a word for it. It's like 2 words they have a word for it. But if it's like revelation by process, I think it is what they call it. Something like that. And it's an insult to their victim, because if their victim can't figure out what they're doing to them in the occult, then they are pretty much released from any moral liability that they've done anything wrong to. I mean, these are sick people. And we got to understand that, we're dealing with people and principalities in high places. Somebody said, see, they are fighting the Most High. Yep, so true. Somebody said, I'm working on getting it. 80% of people are done. They are, folks. I mean, I swear, this generation's gone. Just try driving down the road. People are nuts. Yep. Somebody said a Wisconsin bank is incentivizing people who bring their coins in. There you go. Get it back in circulation. Let's see, Tony. The way I see it, if we are on here talking about this, they already got you. Best thing I know to do is get ready spiritually, physically, and fight evil wherever you are. You got it, my man. That's it. Let me see here what we got. I have my hunting camp off the grid. I'll be living there. Yep, that's the ticket, folks. Yes, but it's going to be worldwide. No escape. That's the thing. It is going to be worldwide. But guys, I mean, let's be honest. If America isn't trashed by the trumpets, I mean, this country's just brought great judgment. I mean, like I've noticed the thing with the Black Lives Matter thing in the streets right now is a lot of people's like, look at all that's been done to us. Look at the slavery and everything like that. And I'm like, now, well, that is very true. Think about this too, that there is multitudes of people like myself that's Caucasian, right, that never owned a slave, foreigners from another country, never had anything to do with slavery. But because they live here in America, because we're here in America, when the trumpets start, a lot of us will probably die because of collateral damage. Not because we didn't, or not because we did anything, but because we are near the outpouring of the judgment. That's why I think it's so important to keep the commandments, because I just don't know how we're going to survive otherwise. Because I mean, the Most High is just literally going to have to protect us all with all the crazy crap that's going on. Because when it really does hit, you take what's going on right now and times it by 100, it's just going to be off the rails. But truth will set you free. You're right. There's no escape. We're in this flat geostationary flat Earth under a firmament dome together. Brother Chad said, Brother Lucas, Alaska's calling for you. Ooh, Alaska's rough up there. I've been up there many, many months working before. Somebody said, I'm up in Canada. You can come up here, laugh out loud. Worldwide, mark the beast. That's right. Toxic people is why I'm going to say Elohim has us waiting in our cave until his time to come out is come. Yeah. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. It was Greg. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm back caught up where we were there. Hi, Luke. Can you make videos on the end times, including what is going to take place, tribulation, when the true Hebrews return their land, 1,000-year reign, New Jerusalem? Yeah, something I want to talk about here in the near future, guys, is the scriptures that describe the second Exodus, because it literally points out that the second Exodus will be far greater than the first. And I think that is something so timely we should definitely touch on. And I haven't talked about that, I don't think, in years, since last time when I was down at Boom Church invited to speak on that matter. Truthers by default are criminals against the state. Oh, yeah. Another thing I want to bring up is I can't think of the Hebrew Israelite the other day that brought up about the true ancestry of his people. But he lost his TV show or whatever and everything. Somebody help me out and put his name in here, because it slipped my mind right now. But what killed me is then they made him go back and backpedal and apologize. And, the thing is, the media and Nick Cannon, thank you, daughter of Zion, the world is desperate for the truth to not come out. They are trying to shut this down as fast as it starts up anymore. Because, folks, it is a flood. The floodgate opened years ago. Guys, I'm a white man. If anybody's got color vision problems, I'm a white guy, okay? I'm a little red right now from sunburn, but I'm actually a very white person. And it occurred to me in my studies, because if you notice, I'm an Indiana Jones fan, so I was like studying that Black Pharaohs of Egypt thing in the National Geographic a long time ago. And then all the studies of the years of Scripture, right? Nick Cannon planted a seed. Yes, he did, JD. You are right, brother. And that seed is done being in there, and the water is flowing. The flood has come. There ain't no stopping this stuff anymore. And when I seen that, I was so angry. Not that I found out the truth that the true Hebrew Israelite ancestors was black. I was mad that I was lied to. Because the problem is people, when they finally get just people that really care, like myself and many of you that watch this show, when we finally get just a taste, just like I said, that seed planted, and the water's flowing, there's no stopping it. And man, it's just anyway, I'll give that another subject. Somebody said, JD said, guns up. That's right. They need not to come to my home. That's right. A battle worth fighting. You have the right to defend yourself. Absolutely. But when they persecute you in this city, flee yet into another. For verily I say unto you, shall not have gone over the cities in Israel till the Son of Man be come. There you go. Somebody said they're spraying us with chemicals, adding fluoride in our water, forcing GMOs on us, and now they want to force a vaccine on us that will take away our ability to know Elohim. That's right. And Tim, I want to pause right here, and this is the thing, guys. I won't do that yet. I won't do that yet. I'll make a note here. I don't want to touch on that just yet until the end, because it's my final case and point on this today. But I wrote down something to make a note to that. Just hang in here, Tim, if you're still in here, because I want you to hear what I've got to say to that at the end, because that's a beautiful point. And I want you to premise this real quick. Just keep in mind as of the days of Noah. Okay. Someone said we will return to our land. Can't wait to see you there, brother. I hope I make it, guys. I really do. Please take me with you when you go. Somebody said the same. Somebody said, I don't trust them as far as I can throw a mask. Good for you, brother. Stick to that. Somebody said, I'm thinking along those same lines. Let me see here. It is a law of Elohim that they have to reveal it, but they've learned to be manipulative, so we cannot see it until in hindsight. I got you, Melissa. That's interesting thought. I'm curious on land ownership. I'm 100% disabled veteran on my own home and land that is tax exempt. I believe everything will be taken away in the future. These days and times are very strange. Yeah, you know what? I mean, even paying up your taxes ahead anymore, guys, I just feel like we're not going to be safe. I'll hang on as long as I can, going all ray comfort on people, trying to get some of those 80% of the zombies into eternal life. Absolutely. People are hypnotized by media through sorcery. Yep. Trump built that wall to keep us from escaping. I believe that all my heart, JD. I believe that all my heart. That's to keep us in, not get us out. Let's see. Somebody said, can we get 92 likes? That'd be awesome if everybody hit the like button, guys. Yes, I'll be asking the Father to keep me, and I pray over my sanity because I thought I was going to go crazy when I first came to the truth a few years ago. Let me tell you, I think that's Dominic on here. Man, I'll tell you what, girl. Whenever I first come to this truth, I thought I was going to lose my mind too, and now I see things as crystal clear as I could ever. Yeah, it's a hard transition coming out of the world. Somebody said, Luke, how did you come to the truth of the flat earth? Love hearing those testimonies. So, real quick on that one. I seen a video about the flat earth. I laughed at it. Started researching it. Tried to disprove it. Next thing you know, I was like, dang, this is as real as it gets. Yeah, so from there I started researching, sharing my research, and the rest, it's been history. And of course looked it up in scripture. Somebody said, we don't own our homes, own our deeds. It says tenant, the government can take your property. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. Even though he apologized, it's still out there. Hallelujah. Oh, that's right. All praise Most High Yah. Don't get vaxxed. It will change your DNA. You won't be made in the Father's image. All right, Bonnie, you're on point, because I'm about to be covering the last part here in a minute. I learned that from studying demonology. That's very interesting, Melissa. I'm telling you, I try to stay away from the cult, but I swear anymore, I really need to start doing some more study into it, because know your enemy. Oh, somebody said right there, Melissa just said that at the next text. Said, to defeat your enemy, you must first know your enemy. That's right, with the vax, you're unredeemable. You got it, truth will set you free. All right, so Elias, I love that. Flat earth. So here's the last point case I want to make on this tonight, guys. I'll be glad to chop it up with you in the comments following. Love the engagement. I love I love fellowship with everybody. Um, as of the days of Noah, I want everybody to pause what you're doing right now. Just close your eyes and say this to yourself. As of the days of Noah. Now, what do you picture? All right, let's picture this. As of the days of Noah, there was Nephilim, giants, godless, wicked men, okay, and very few righteous. Now, that's what you have on the menu. At this point in history, in this age, all right, there is the recreating of Nephilim, you know, all this abomination that can't make it the kingdom, right? Noah, it speaks of, I believe it is, I was trying to remember the other day when I read it because, see, I only thought Noah was righteous, or you know, like perfect, physical wise, but he was righteous and perfect. I believe it's requoted when I went back through that in Genesis and in 2nd Baruch, I believe it is. It's Sirach or 2nd Baruch. Because I've been doing some deep studies in 2nd Baruch and Sirach here lately, guys. But if you look at that situation, all right, here's the deal. If you could be a really upright, righteous man, right? But at the same note, you go over there and take that vaccine and corrupt yourself. Guys, I'll be honest with you. I don't want to have to stand before the Most High Yah one day and explain to him why that I corrupted myself. And to me, that is the biggest issue I have with all that's going on right now at hand. Because let's just somebody said, where can you get the shirt? Guys, you can Google Obey Yah shirt, and it's on there. I can't remember what t-shirt print company it is, but it's on there. This is the biggest thing to consider right now. Let's go way out there in left field, way down the rabbit hole. Let's say RFID chips are okay. Let's say they're okay. Heck, let's even say the vaccine's okay, right? Now, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, just run this scenario for a second. Let's just say in the mind, okay, the RFID chip's okay to take and the vaccine's okay to take. If you check the yes box just then, please notate in your own mind that with the RFID chip, now that it's in place, why do you need currency anymore? Why do you need a debit card? Why do you need a tap to pay with your phone, and so on, so on, so on? So the other thing is okay, so you took the corona vaccine even though it was a 99% survival rate, right? The next pandemic comes around and you take that vaccine, or you refuse to take that vaccine. Well, why won't you take this vaccine? You took the coronavirus vaccine. Didn't you trust us then? You should trust us now. This is a slow slide to hell. I don't want a flipping chip. I don't even want a bank card. You know what? I would actually like to go back to cash backed by gold and silver. I don't even just want to deal with cash anymore. I'd like to please have my silver and gold certificates back that is redeemable to the bearer for on demand. You know, like that's where Luke's mind's at now. And I just we're at the end of this thing, guys. We're at the end of the thing. For those of us that was born, I read this article recently. I'll say this, I'll wrap up this live stream, and then we'll just go to the comments. Is that I read this article that it said that pretty much that people that were born from 85 to 95 lived during the time frame of the industrial age and the internet age. The thing about it is we are the last generation to see the old world and to see the new. It's a pivotal point, and it's why I think that people like us also get attacked so much from both sides, is because people in the past don't have a clear grasp of where we're headed. And people in the future have no grasp of the past. I mean, they don't know what a pickup rotary dial phone is, or an old Mac computer where you put in the floppy drive and hope that you can play, oh my goodness, what was that little Western game, the Wagon Trail, or whatever it was. Anyway, they don't have that kind of grasp. I mean, like some kids, the minute they come out of their mother's womb, they've almost got a smartphone in their hand that fast. Like, people are out of touch. Oregon Trail, thank you. What did I say, Wagon Trail? I was close. Yeah, Oregon Trail. Man, that was a great game. I died so many times on that. I barely ever made it to the end. Freaking awesome game. I swear, I don't care if it's old, like, what, 6-bit, 8-bit game or whatever. It was great. Anyway, this is the generation. Okay, us folks from like the 85 to the early 90s, guys, we're a very, very dysentery kills everyone. Y'all killing me. Y'all killing me with these quotes from that video game. But we are living in a very special group of people. I say this, and I don't just say this because I want to include myself in it. Like, seriously, I haven't really never gave much thought to how unique those of us from the 80s all the way up to the middle of the 90s. We're a special class of people. I can't explain to my son even now the world that was before, because he's grown up in that time frame past, and the generations past, all these truths and stuff. I mean, the problem is, and I experienced this with my own family, they've been indoctrinated too long, and that's why I feel like that there's going to be a whole generation of young people, those of us, right now. Well, I mean, I'm in my mid-30s, I'm 35, but by the time this kicks off, there's going to be a seasoned, wise adult generation that we're not going to buy into any of this BS anymore. Like, guys, I've seen this coming for a decade. I was like in my early 20s, like 21, 22, when I left being a deacon in a Free Will Baptist church to having hardly no fellowship at all, to coming to the knowledge of the truth, and now here I am today. And darn, I got like 70-something thousand people following my YouTube channel. I mean, flip, I think I got a better following Joel Osteen up in here. And by the way, I ain't even asking you for $1 or a donation. But I'm just saying, like, it's not even a numbers thing. It's just like, we are a special cut of people, those of us that was born between that time frame. And I know a lot of us have experienced great hardships. Guys, I went from living in like a $300,000 home I went from a farm to getting married to living in like a $300,000 home on a lake, to going down to a double wide trailer, back to a farm life, to building a tiny house, to losing everything in a divorce, pretty much. Okay, so I mean, I've seen ups and downs. I've seen the transitory of these past 3 decades. I've seen a lot, and like the last note I will leave with this and wrap this up, because we're about a little over the hour mark, is that I've said this, I will stand behind this to the day I die, is that 9/11, Rona, and what is to come, this demonic alien invasion thing, it'll be the last tick off. And somewhere in the mix of this will be all this RFID chips. I have a theory. I'm going to go ahead, for those of you that stayed in the house, I'm going to go ahead and leave this theory with you, because it's a new evolvement that I'm going to say at the conference that I haven't said yet on this channel that I know of. But I have a theory why the RFID chip will most likely be fully implemented during the demonic alien thing, is because it will be the one ability to track and know for sure that you're humanoid and not foreign. Now, or alien. And now that's just my thought. Okay, I can't tell you a chapter, line, verse in the Bible and the scripts for that. I'm just saying this is theory shop with Luke right now. Okay, theory session. But I haven't said that to anybody yet. And somebody said that's an interesting theory. Yeah, I mean, guys, it's the best thing I can put together right now. Fifth Wave, the movie, there you go. Yeah, transhumanism. Yeah, somebody said it's a good theory. I appreciate that, guys. I do. Now, and by all means, share that with others and, talk that out. But that's the best thing that I could come up with off of my intellectual thought. I mean, like, I work with electronics every day. I build and construct almost every day. It's the best thing I can come up with. Somebody said I can go with that theory. Yeah, because, I mean, at that point, like if you ever seen that movie in 1988, They Live, okay? Then the thing about it is, at that point, is you've got to push some kind of agenda to be like, oh my gosh, we were attacked by aliens. I don't even know who's who anymore. They look like us, because of course demons, we all know that angels can look like us, right? So, let's see what happens there, because at that point people's like, okay, I'll take the RFID chip because I know I'm a human being, and at that point nobody can't say that I ain't. And I don't know, that's where I leave that for you to discern for yourself. But at least when the time comes, that is a reasonable conclusion. You can say that Lucas Cameron at Eastern Standard Time around 10 o'clock on whatever pagan day of the week this is. I think we're on M Day on the pagan Roman calendar. I try to keep up the Father's lunisolar calendar and not worry about the pagan one anymore. But you can say, Luke, way back then, a couple years back, said that was what was going to shake out, and there it did. And that's that. Well, guys, I love everybody. That was the session for this evening. I hope everybody enjoyed the show for tonight. I'm going to get in the comments now. Movie Captive State. Yes, I just recently watched that one. Very, very, I mean, guys, that's what I'm saying. Process. What was it I said earlier? The satanic occult thing they do, they call it revelation by... my goodness, man. It's driving me nuts because I seen that the other day and I should have screen capped it. Revelation by process or something like that's what they call it. All right. Well, anyway, I'm going to back up here to see. Oh, my goodness. Guys, you can see upload the comment section. Clean up tonight. All right. Let me see what we got here. Trump is in the cabal and Kabbalah. Yeah, let me tell you, I seen a thing the other day. The payoffs that have been paid off for Trump doing sexual acts to young boys and girls. Documented. Crazy stuff, guys. Crazy. And I just try to stay out of this, you know, because it's like, is it really helping us get prepared? You know what I'm saying? But now, like with the Wayfire thing and stuff like that, I'm going to be doing a special video just about this stuff, and I'll bring stuff like that out. And I don't want to throw any accusations toward people. Like, I'll give you an example. The other day, I can't remember if it was the other day or today I seen this maybe, is they had a picture of Epstein and Trump. And he was like, I've heard of the man, but I never really knew him. And he literally has a picture of Trump hugging Epstein and like kissing him on the head or something. Like they obviously knew each other. So anyway, moving on down here. Somebody said, oh, that's a good point. In the days of Noah, there was one language too. Yep. Computer software gives us own language. Yep. But the same day Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed all of them. Even thus shall it be in the day when Son of Man is revealed. I'm telling you what, man, it's going to be some crazy times, folks. Somebody said perfect in his generation. He's in the bloodlines also. Yeah, perfect means he was in the law. That's right. Okay, I answered about the shirt. Good night to some folks going to bed there. I was in the military, so only y'all knows what's in me already. Yep. Firearms is the last line of defense. Also, we'll all die someday. Need to accept it. That's right. And I agree with that. It's like, I know I'm going to die at this point. That unless the, unless the Most High comes back while I'm still breathing air, like I have a high susceptible chance that I'm going to die. I want to go out on my own terms. And I'm like, if you're going to try to put the chip in me, dude, I'll just shoot you and die with you trying to give it to me. That's an honorable death. I mean, I want to go out like freaking samurai, you know? I mean, my goodness. I don't want to die a coward. Folks, I don't want to die a coward. I'll tell you, while I was gone on my honeymoon, it was like the third day on my honeymoon. I know a lot of people suffer from sleep apnea, but I never really knew a lot about it. But when I woke up at like 2 in the morning, I was about ice cold, and my watch on my arm said I'd stopped. My heart had stopped and apparently stopped breathing, and I felt like I was dead. When I woke up, I was like, you know what? Had I died tonight, I'd feel good about it. And that's how I want to feel when the day comes I actually die. And I want to die in a righteous state. This is serious stuff, guys. I mean, it is getting more and more serious in my mind with every passing day. I just got to purge some sin out of my life. You know, we all got it, especially pet sins, and they got to die. I mean, Father God, please just kill any sin in me and please save me. You know, I mean, that's where our mind should be. Somebody said righteousness comes from trust and faith in Yah. That's right. Action, not just faith, results from action. That's right. Do you think this has to do with violence against the system? 1310. I don't know. I'll have to look that one up. Somebody said, love that game too, man. It was great. Somebody said, I'm 61 and most of my generation are brainwashed and beyond hope. Yeah. I mean, that's... yes, when I flat smack the youth, they get it really fast. Yeah, there is just like... We're in a weird paradigm right now, guys, where like the elderly, a lot of them will never get it. And a lot of the young folks, they're just too far gone. But those of us that's been on that fence between the two generations now, a lot of us are going to get it. Somebody said, Jesse said 50 years old here, sheep everywhere. Yep, you got it, brother. Kids nowadays hang out in groups and they're not talking amongst each other because they're busy text messaging. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. We've been lied to, brainwashed, whited out for so long. Our pastor don't read all the truth to the congregation. 501c restricts what they can read. So many are deceived for the lack of knowledge. Absolutely. I was born in 74. I went from the outhouse in rural Tennessee to a big house for real. A lot of people commented about that theory. Guys, I mean, I'll make a video about that if you think that's actually valid to share. I mean, I just kind of keep stuff like that under wraps, but I really want to make my case for how I feel, because when it does happen, I don't want to just be standing on the street corner and be like, well, yeah, this is how I felt. I want to be like, well, I told you so. Because, I mean, I really feel like that's how it's going to go. But, you know, that's crazy. I didn't think about Captive State. I watched that movie a while back, and it is, yep, the whole RFID chip people and stuff, too, to know who's who. I didn't even think about that one, guys. It's crazy. That's a real good point, John. Shout out to you. That's a real good point. All the money for space travel, the moon and Mars, they know what's about to happen. Yep. Shout out to you, Brother Lies. Thank you, too, for the support of the channel, man. Without you guys and everybody that's helped out in this conference, it just wouldn't be what it's going to be. Somebody said it's got. I think when you're divorced, you have more time to research and question things. I'll tell you what, buddy, you sure do. New subscriber just found you the other day. Hey, nice to have you here, my man. Boy, there is a lot of people that's divorced that's in the truth, guys. And it's just because your partner was never going to follow into. Forget them. Just forget them. Just find somebody that loves y'all, loves you, and just keep on. Jesse said, thank you, brother. Text you. Old number, hope still same number. Yeah, it's still same number. I just, I got a new phone because the XR updated, and man, it just, apparently the XRs, when they got an update of this recent update or whatever, it messes up the service. So like there's text, phone calls, all sorts of stuff I didn't get from people. And then I had to go get a new iPhone 11. But if you just, I think I seen your text come across on my screen earlier because I'm using this new iPhone 11 for filming. So I'll get you that info back. But somebody said, wake people up so we can save the children. Yeah, those are your Nephilim, taking women they want. Men of renown, popularity, apparent. Oh, that's an interesting thought right there. Physical preparation is useless if you're not spiritually prepared. Yes, that's right, Yemi. Repent, be baptized, keep the commandments. You nailed it. Somebody said, oh, thank you. Somebody just donated, Isaiah 40:22. Somebody just donated $20. Eyes have not seen or nor heard what is coming. That's right. Thank you guys for the support. Somebody said we are set apart people. Let me see right here. I'm divorced now. She thinks I'm nuts for being a flat earther. You know, it's crazy how many people that turn from atheism to believe in y'all. That is the thing that gets me a flat earth. And when I bring that up, people just shut up. I don't think they know how to respond to that. So I'm like, okay, cool. You think it's stupid. That's your thought. But why did that atheist, why was that what brought that atheist to y'all? Oh, that's right, because it's in the scripts about the flat earth. It's almost, let's see. Love you and your family too. Thank you, Shalom. Enjoyed that. Thank you, Luke. By the way, I'm new. Let's see. Predictive programming. Yeah. Sorry, I'm back down here to where we were at. Be baptized, keep the commandments. The sealing of the 144,000 is almost complete. Everyone needs to repent and have the full armor of Yahuwah on, because those lacking will regret it. Yeah, Father God, please make me one of those 144,000. Somebody said, get ready, full tank gas all the time, running silent, go incognito. Man, I hope I can get my Cybertruck 4 in. Drive quietly. Somebody said, I have a Jehovah Witness call me today. Instead of stopping by, she couldn't wait to get off the phone with me when I lit into her about flat earth. That's great. Oh my gosh, man, y'all's stories kill me. Yeah, the Mormons and Jehovah Witness don't even knock on my door anymore. Man, y'all done went, broke their heart. Do you think we will have another civil war? I don't know, Glenn, but like I said in this one of the future videos I'm going to do, guys, on the show about this race baiting thing. I'm going to tell you what, if you're watching this show and you are Hispanic, Oriental, white, black, purple, what's some of them colors in Dr. Seuss book? I can't even think of the rest of them, but thing 1, thing 2 looking color. I don't care where you're from, even your language. I love you. I don't wish no ill will on nobody. Everybody got to understand that This system that's in place and these few wicked men at the top are trying to get all of us to kill each other. Yeah, Isaiah shared that $20 donation. Thank you so much. Says, eyes have not seen nor ear heard what we have coming. All praise the Most High. So many game changers said, according to the voice of God, war against the saints is imminent. I would believe that. Shout out to Brother Chris. Donated $20, guys. And I appreciate this, guys. This will go to help pay for the little bit of remaining travel costs for people coming to the conference. And please, I've been asking this. Anybody that donates on the channel lately, please get your tickets for the conference. They're free, man. They're free. This has been paved the way with people that's donated. So by all means, you people have donated, please get a ticket to the thing. Or at least if you can't come, get somebody that you know to come in your place. Or matter of fact, at least watch the live stream when it goes down. Smith said that's the whole point of the biblical scientific flat earth, to open their eyes to the Bible, that this is the gospel. Yep. JWs always magically have to go to lunch when they get caught up in their lies. Did you see the 3 prophetic dreams that Dana Cornerstone had? He's pastor. I actually watched, somebody emailed me, and I watched that recently, guys. And I'll tell you what, it would not surprise me one bit if what that man said don't come down. Let me see here real quickly. I think Yahshua is coming back with his angels and UFOs that are called chariots. Yep. It's starting to look like there are 2 sets of UFOs. They kind that mess with people are demonic. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, guys. If you think about this, why are we getting a Space Force? Because we're going to have demonic alien things that's going to attack. And then by the time that the Most High actually comes back, Messiah comes back, well, then they're going to be like, hey, we need to shoot these people. So, yeah, I mean, Satan always tries to emulate and copy. That's why I believe with all my heart that the new kingdom is a pyramid shaped and not a cube shaped, because that makes the point for the chief cornerstone can be a chief capstone and cornerstone. Guys, if you're wanting to get tickets to the conference, make sure to check it out at soundingtheloudcry.com, okay? Said, what do you think about the beheaded souls under the throne for not taking the mark? I've heard that there are over 30,000 guillotines here in the U.S. Yeah, I covered that recently. If you go back and look at one of the recent Hard Truth shows I done, guys, it's actually the image of the show that night, and just go in there and check that out. I share the info about that stuff. The demons are sure restless. I cannot even go to town without the do-gooders trying to police me. So, let me tell y'all a little story. I got home the other day. I go to the golf course for the first time in years. I was having a good time with my son because he had never been golfing, so I took him, and I wanted him to have a good experience. Just as we hit the high point in the day of having a great time. Now, keep in mind, I've golfed for years, and then I stopped because I had a busy life, plus went through a divorce and all sorts of stuff. This guy comes down on one of the carts, and I'm like, what is this guy doing? He drives across the hole, then he drives down, he drives over to where we're at where we're putting and finishing this one hole. And he goes, hey, are y'all messing up the greens? Because like the green back there was all fluffed up, messed up and everything. And I'm looking and I'm like about to make my putt. And I'm like, bro, have you lost your mind? And he looks at the green, and get this. He says, oh, well, this one don't look messed up at all. This one looks fine. And he's like, did y'all get new golf shoes or whatever? And I'm like, yeah, these are some new shoes. But and he's like, well, just be careful not to tear up the green. And here's the thing. I just find it interesting that anytime I experience a good moment in life anymore, it's like somebody tries to come by and take my peace away. I've been on the golf course with drunks. I've been on the golf course with my friends. I've been on the golf course alone. I've been to golf a lot. I've never experienced an experience like I did the other day. If the Karens of the world had a husband, that was Karen's husband. But I guess what I'm saying is it's just like I've noticed there's a spirit at work in people. And it just seems like anywhere you go and you're having a good experience or a spirit of peace is about you, it is just like there is something that, it's like, I don't know if Satan has like a little circuit board or something. It's like, oh, Bob's having a good day. Agent 57, you're initiated. go irritate him. I don't know, but I've noticed it too here lately. It's just like everybody just seems to be agitated and angry and mad and bent up over nothing. But I just thought it was weird that the guy come over there to get into it with me, Aunt Karen's husband, Ken. He come over there to throw down and get angry with us, and then he even, as he walks up, then he goes, it's almost like he had to at least acknowledge, I don't want to say we were righteous, but that we were in the right and hadn't done no wrong, because then he looked and he was like, oh, well, this one's not tore up. I was like, well, then maybe you should go find whoever tore it up, because it obviously wasn't us. But it didn't matter. It done took my peace away at that point. So I'm just saying, guys, I've been noticing this stuff too. I've really been noticing this, that the UFOs that confound the fighter jets are the holy angels. Somebody said, my brother is in the process of waking up and he's having a hard time with it. I remember that feeling and feel so sorry for him at the moment, but praise the Most High offers progress. Yeah, because it is painful. And guys, I hate to say this, but you just got to let people suffer for a bit, because we all had to go through that pain and suffering process. And it's one of those deals. You just got to let everybody filter out their own course there, because the Most High, once he's woke somebody up, that set apart spirit will take them to the finish line. I believe with all my heart, as long as they cleave on. Somebody said, gave me, apparently the master gave some Bible verses a couple years ago. I keep praying to get more, but so far nothing. We've actually seen several people having very similar product dreams lately with a lot of overlapping specific details. Why do people get so angry? Because I eat biblical clean. Oh man, I know. People get so bent up over unclean foods, they just can't let them go. Glad I'm not the only person that experiences this. It drags me down. Then I got to recharge. Yeah, man. I tell you, there's a bunch of toxic people. It's so sick when people are crying here and there for salvation over a syringe. I have literally cried when I've come home, and I'm not one to cry. I don't want to go out, but I put my boots on and pray for protection and go back. Yeah, guys, I'm to the point where I could just about be a hermit anymore. Man, I want to send a shout out to everybody in here. I have watched the viewership tonight be one of the highest viewerships that I've ever seen in a live stream on this channel. Ever. About to roll 200 right now at this waking moment. Oh, just hit 200 viewers right now as we speak. And guys, I can't overly state how much I appreciate the support on this channel. Just so you know, there'll be a video coming up very soon, a reminder and a breakdown of everything going on for the conference, because we're about 30 days out. I wanted to kind of get a refresher out there real quick right before the conference, so everybody knows where to go, where to park, where the baptism is. I know that's been a lot of emails, questions, who's speaking, et cetera, et cetera. I definitely want to get that all cleared out there so everybody, is comfortable whenever that day comes. Yeah, I think that pretty much is everything going on. Like I said, conference it's paid in full. I mean, it's just show up and praise y'all and network. And I really hope everybody comes up in the building, networks with one another big time. I really, really hope that is. Did you cover the coin shortage? Yeah, back about the first 20 minutes of the video. Just go back. I cover it. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap up tonight. I will see you later this week on a live stream in Virginia. Be up there with my friend Tony. We'll be talking about off-grid living, a bunch of stuff like that. I think that'll be a really cool live. And then later in the week, I'll be doing a live stream and talk about, or I may pre-record a live stream about the conference. And then next week it'll be stuff about the Wayfarer thing. Is the elite trying to get a race war going? My points in the case on that. And just a lot of current event stuff. That's the things that I'm going to be covering on. And I apologize, guys, that I wasn't able to be in here with you this past week and a half. I have to work for the next 2 years and make sure that I keep my my payments up and everything that I have to do because of my prior marriage. Because I don't want to be put in jail for not I'm a servant slave to the system for the next 2 years. And so I've got to make sure and keep the hammer down and keep my bills paid, pay all the stuff that the government makes me pay and everything else. because I don't want to be setting up some jail cell when the trumpets kick off. If I'm gonna go to jail, I'm gonna go to jail for shooting somebody for trying to put an RFID chip in me. I refuse to go to jail for something else. So guys, as always, until we see again here at Seven Trumpets Pepper Channel and on the Hard Truth Show, I hope the Most High Yah Baruch you and keep you, make his face shine upon you, show you favor, and give you shalom, my friends, in Yahushua name.